This is happening in America right now. Not only are people saying that some cities are getting taken over, but now they're taking office. Yeah, getting elected and becoming government officials, possibly coming to a city near you.
We're in Dearborn. This is the call of prayer that goes off 5 times a day here in the United States. Would you like to hear this blasting through your neighborhood?
She said 5 times a day? The word on the street is there's a major takeover happening right now. And some saying we don't have a lot of time left. And also, if you guys didn't hear, Mamdani, victory signals earth-shaking shift in New York City politics. And if you guys didn't hear, Zohran Mamdani has just been elected mayor of New York City, defeating former governor Andrew Cuomo. The headlines are reading, this victory is signaling earth-shaking shift in New York City politics. Have you seen the polls? Look where a lot of the votes are coming from. Down at the bottom, 70% are voting for that. So the problem a lot of people have is they see a lot of posts like this, saying the D word to America and then burning our flag.
Chants and all of your shouts upon the head of America.
This is in American cities.
You have school board candidates up and down, Muslims. City council candidates up and down, Muslims. Muslims are coming into your government. And when they get to the government, they are not fighting for the American people. They are fighting for the Muslim people. They are fighting for their own interests. Look at the United Kingdom. If you don't believe me, look at the United Kingdom, who elected a Muslim mayor in London and elected Muslims all throughout the country. They are being replaced systematically. The British people are no longer living a good life in their own country. The Muslims are taking over. They're implementing their Sharia courts. They're implementing their Sharia law. And slowly, the United Kingdom is dying. It is dying.
I've got a lot of crazy stuff that's circulating. It's been, I finally had to stop because I'm like, I need to get filming this video. I've got some insight from Charlie Kirk on this very topic. Also got Tucker Carlson talking to the president of Iran and getting his take. I got some crazy news awareness and a crazy topic to go over with you guys because this definitely affects you coming right up. Giving you guys a little bit of break from the studio backgrounds, and if you're brand new here, welcome to Riverside Homestead. Also started this channel doing a lot of preparedness videos, how-to videos. I got a huge archive of stuff if you guys are trying to learn some practical tips on how-tos when it comes to preparedness, self-sufficiency, and prepping even. But more importantly, let's go talk about this topic because it's kind of a little bit unnerving. All right, as we get started, folks, I want you to know we're gonna be seeing a lot of facts. There's also gonna be some opinion, most definitely a lot of controversy over what is happening in the United States right now. So remember, if I play a video, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's my take. I'm just showing you what's circulating out there so you guys are fully aware of how things are being portrayed and how a lot of people are angry. We're just gonna scratch the surface. So you guys do your own deep diving and do your own research to clarify any of this. So what is making this topic kind of resurface is now these folks, Muslims, are getting elected into government positions left and right. Now, like I said, I've got Tucker Carlson interviewing the president of Iran and his take. I've got Charlie Kirk and some advice coming from him. I've got tons of videos of where this Islamic practice is just covering the streets with tens of thousands of people. But before we get to that, let me show you this viral video that's circulating and the perspective that this gentleman has on what's really happening to America and how we need to be all fully aware of what's going on and ultimately act now or there's no turning back.
This is a warning to everybody in the United States of America, and I hope you're listening up very clearly. Islam is knocking at the door. And when Islam knocks on the door, they knock with a suicide vest strapped to them, all right? You are talking about jihad. You are talking about people taking over our government who are Muslims and believe 100% in the doctrine of Islam, which is Sharia law, it is jihad, it is taqiyya, it is every horrible thing you imagine. These people do not worship our God. They do not respect our constitution. These people walk around a black box in Mecca and yell Allahu Akbar, which is a call to war. It is a call to war. They're not here to assimilate, they're here to take over. Omar Fateh in Minneapolis, he almost won that election. He may win that election. It's still early, we don't know. Zohran Mamdani, who is a complete Islamist, he won his election in New York, and he won it pretty resoundingly. The Democrat lieutenant governor of Virginia, we didn't even talk about her. Nobody even knew where she was coming out of. She is a Muslim who wears a hijab. This woman is the lieutenant governor of the state of Virginia. It is getting worse and worse and worse. You have school board candidates up and down, Muslims. City council candidates up and down, Muslims. Muslims are coming into your government. And when they get to the government, they are not fighting for the American people. They are fighting for the Muslim people. They are fighting for their own interests. Look at the United Kingdom. If you don't believe me, look at the United Kingdom, who elected a Muslim mayor in London and elected Muslims all throughout the country. They are being replaced systematically. The British people are no longer living a good life in their own country. The Muslims are taking over. They're implementing their Sharia courts. They're implementing their Sharia law. And slowly, the United Kingdom is dying. It is dying. United States of America. Let this be a warning. Let last night be a warning. These Muslims are winning elections. The Democrats are allowing the Muslims to walk right through the door. They got a suicide vest strapped onto them. It's only a matter of time till somebody walks into the Capitol and blows that place up with a suicide vest. And it won't be a terrorist. It'll be an elected congressperson elected by a community of Muslims somewhere in the United States of America. Islam is the problem. Islam is not compatible with the United States of America. Islam is not compatible with the United States Constitution. Stop this scourge before it gets out of control. And let me tell you, we're getting very, very close to the point of no return.
So these are the type of videos that are going viral right now. I want you to tell me down in the comments right now what your take is on this. Do you agree with this guy? Like, one of the parts that I agree with is the America that true Americans love is slipping away fast. And things are definitely changing even faster. And I think the Americans, this is not the type of change that they want. Now, this little clip's only 57 seconds, but basically they're saying that this is a Muslim brotherhood of leaders openly explaining how they plan to conquer America and Europe and destroy Western civilization.
700 years of our trial to conquer Europe by force failed. They did something wrong, very wrong. They tried for many years to conquer Europe through wars, only wars.
This is the soft Islamic conquest of the West. Basically, what the Islamic and again, I'm an Orthodox Muslim. What we couldn't do in the last, say, 20 years, now the West is doing it for us for free and even paying for it.
Allah permitted them to live off the infidel while they are subduing them. So it had sort of a parasitic type of attitude where they can live off of the host country, where their goal is to eventually eradicate the host culture and supplant it with Islam.
Is that what's going on, guys? They're infiltrating, slowly taking over, and then they're gonna make the change without even having a traditional styled war. Now, I wanna show you this Tucker Carlson clip and the Charlie Kirk clip. Let me show you this one more time because this is what kind of gives me like, okay, that's real. When you start flooding the streets, chanting something to Americans, the D word, and you're having to listen to a prayer on a loudspeaker 5 times a day, if that doesn't wake people up, literally, I don't know what is.
It goes off 5 times a day here in the United States. Would you like to hear this blasting through your neighborhood? They don't have a choice of whether they hear this or not.
So this is another thing that is concerning a lot of Americans. They're saying, don't US citizens know their history? What are they thinking? And it says Muslims do not assimilate, they aggregate, infiltrate, and conquer. That's the plan. You look at the voting, the numbers are crawling up. They're going up. This clip from X right here, America is being invaded the same way they did in the UK. So you can see right there, head of the UK justice system, head of the UK education system, Brighton mayor, London mayor of the British capital. You see the same thing happening? And when we see some of the things that I think what we're looking at is Muslims here burning the American flag and chanting the death to America, I would say it's a little bit concerning. Do you guys remember what Charlie Kirk had to say?
The spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school, while also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. That's important. We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us. And it's time that the church stands and rises up against it.
Yep. And in fact, the Muslim did win the mayor spot in New York City. Look what people are dealing with.
New Muslim mayor of Dearborn, Michigan is now under fire for allowing mosques to blast the Islamic call to prayer with speakers at 5 a.m.
But the mosques in East Dearborn are now at times waking us up at 5:30 in the morning with the call to prayer.
This is Dearborn resident Andrea Unger at last night's City Council meeting stating that mosques using outdoor loudspeakers for their call to prayer should not be allowed, and says she believes it's not supposed to be allowed per city ordinance.
Can you guys imagine walking your dog in the evening? I think that people should be able to believe and think what they want. I don't think anyone should have anything imposed upon them, especially in a city setting like this, a neighborhood where you're having to have something just smothered in your face to the point where like you probably can't even have a conversation because of the loudspeaker. Let me know if I'm crazy for thinking that. Put it down in the comments. I mean, town and city streets getting shut down or something like this. You guys good with that or no? American streets. And I haven't had anybody like tell me if they're actually saying death to Americans, but it is all over the web that is the translation. And I think if you're traveling the American streets and you're not flying an American flag and you're saying death to the country you're in, I mean, think about if you guys went to any other country and acted that way in any other country. I think they would off you immediately. You'd be in a prison or taking a dirt nap somewhere. So yes, do I think that things are getting a little bit out of hand in America with all this? Totally. Now, I also did find something to be fair. This term death to Americans, there's a possibility that it may have a different underlying meaning, like it's not translated well. Tucker Carlson interviews the president of Iran, and this is how he explains the meaning of this phrase. And I don't know if legitimacy of that or not. You guys will have to tell me down in the comments if you guys have found out if that's in fact true on what the Iranian president has to say to Charlie Kirk, but check it out.
Many Americans are afraid of Iran. You say you're not afraid, but Americans are afraid of Iran, and they believe that Iran would like to strike the United States with a nuclear weapon. They see video of Iranians saying death to America, describing our country as the great Satan. What is your opinion of that? Should we be afraid of Iran?
I believe that this is a very wrong impression that anybody might have of Iran or the Iranians. I would like to remind you that Iran has never invaded another country in the last 200 years. When they say death to the United States, it doesn't mean death to, they don't mean death to the people of the United States or even to the officials of the United States. They mean death to crimes, death to killing and carnage, death to supporting killing others, death to insecurity and instability. This is, have you ever heard that an Iranian killing an American? Have you ever heard that? Or a terrorist that was Iranian and he carried out a terrorist attack against the Americans? No, it was your president who confessed that the Americans created the ISIS in our region, and they were responsible for this wrong image that is portrayed of religion or the Muslims in the world. And once again, I would like to tell you and remind you that this is not death to the American people or to the officials. Death to crimes and atrocities, to bullying, to the use of force, and anybody who would like to become an accomplice in the crimes perpetrated by others.
So, given that bit of information, let me know if you guys can validate that, because if that's the case, then there's definitely some things that are being taken out of context, lost in translation, maybe poor translation with that, but there's still an underlying issue that I think many people, even if you just took that one part out, there's still some serious issues that need to be present, and you need to be taking some serious notes, because this Islamic Muslim people are taking over government positions, leadership positions in America and other countries.
Last year, and it left a lasting impression on me, one of the unique spirituality, community service, and love of humanity.
So this is Democrat Ghazala Hashmi. This is the new Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, who was not born in America, attends events wearing the headscarf and speaking Arabic, all while standing behind a giant banner reading, "He has named you Muslims." You got the elected mayor, Zohran Mamdani, if I said that right. Even Trump just came out and said, we must choose communism or common sense. Now, Trump just spoke live, and I want to remind you, like, when we grew up, when I was younger, if the president spoke, was it not on like every news channel out there? Like every single news agency would air it. Now you've got to watch like specialty news just to see a live speech from the current leadership, which is kind of crazy. Right here it says the speech aired live on Newsmax and Newsmax 2. Like, seriously, was there any others? We have a choice between communism and common sense, he said. Does that make sense to you? It's not common sense or communism. And you take a look back 1,000 years. It hasn't worked. If it worked, we'd be using it, I guess. But it hasn't worked. Our opponents are offering an economic nightmare. We're delivering an economic miracle. They want higher spending for government and illegal aliens. We want bigger paychecks for American workers and American families, and that's what we're delivering. You see that they stand for crime and chaos and corruption. We stand for law and order and justice, bringing on strong borders. They put America last, we put America first. And as long as I'm in the White House, the United States is not going communist in any way, shape, or form. We're going to stop it. Stop this nonsense. So, definitely something I thought you guys should be aware of. Definitely a viral topic in news right now, especially with all of the Muslims gaining positions in governments and states, mayors and leaders. Again, share this out if you guys found value and you think more people need to know what's going on. Hit the like button. It lets the algorithm know to send it out to more people because they like it. And as always, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Be sure you're still subscribed because I got a lot more important stuff coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.